It made me though also want to ask you this question as a man who's dated women.
Yes, I have.
Do you feel like women set unrealistic expectations in general in dating? Like before there is commitment, do you think that women just have expectations that are out of this world for men that they don't know as intimately?
That's a good question. I think people who desire something really bad set unrealistic expectations.
Tell me more. That's good though. I see what you're saying there.
Because it's like typically, I guess we can align that with women and their desire to be in relationships. Typically, it happens a little bit quicker because there is somewhat of a timer on a family dynamic when it comes to women more than men. So the desire is a lot stronger. Yeah. But I think it's anyone who has a really strong desire for something places unrealistic expectations on it. Yeah. I did that to my ex-girlfriend in college. I placed unrealistic expectations on her because I really desired somebody who would be a lifelong partner for me. So what I required of her, what I thought she needed to do, what I thought she needed to bring to the table was so unrealistic. And I put her on a pedestal that she could never reach because it was not real, because I desired it that badly. Yeah. And I think that that's the issue. Even when we look at this scenario, is I think you fall for the illusion when the desire is there. And those people, like men, sometimes even women, who are in those situations when we talk about love bombing or narcissism, is they take that desire and manipulate that to use it to serve their own desires and gain. So they kind of weaponize that desire essentially. So I think it typically falls in line with women because of the things that I named, but I think it's just truly somebody who really, really desires something. They put it up because they desire it so much. They put it up in this sphere of being like a fantasy or something that's just magical. And honestly, it's not a lot of things in life that have that magic feeling, especially sustaining. Like if you put a relationship up there, it might be that for 3 months, but it ain't gonna be that for 10 years. Like we put it in this unrealistic space, but we desire it so much and we make it something that ultimately isn't. So that's my answer. Is not necessarily women, even though it aligns with women more, but more people who really, really desire something.
What I will add to that, because you nailed that, is not only does it create unrealistic expectations, to me, it also leads to you missing things. It leads to you missing signs because you're so focused on this fear of like, I want to have this lovely relationship, this magical feeling, that you will ignore all the things that deter from that take away from that naturally and organically happening, because you're just like, there's a person here. And so I got to make it work with this person. And even though they do not check off most of my boxes, it's a body. And he does do this and he does do that. And so I just got to get him to the finish line. And I think those unrealistic or expectations that are just coming too quickly, because they may not be unrealistic expectations, they just may be ill-placed in like a timeline. You can expect those things out of him when he's your man. You can't expect those things out of him when y'all still DMing on the dating app, right? It's timing for certain things. But yes, I do think it also leads to you ignore things because you're obsessed with the idea of a relationship and not necessarily focused on who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, who you're dating. You're just trying to get to the finish line of getting in a relationship instead of working on the journey of getting into a healthy relationship so that it can sustain. Magical or a little less magical, because I think the magic is still there, but it's a sustaining magic, as in overall, like you've talked about on other episodes. Does this net out to be an amazing thing? Yes. Did we have an amazing day yesterday? No. Or the day before that. Okay. But this week so far, it's been pretty good. So yeah, I agree with you. It's a twofold thing.
It is. Yeah. It is. And I feel bad for her in this scenario and in this situation, because I understand when you have that desire, and that could be for anything. Somebody who really desires anything, it's like you want it to work so bad, and you're looking for the elements of what you feel like you may want or what you feel like you may need of that thing.
Ooh,
And you
child.
emphasize those things and celebrate those things and put those things on a pedestal. And like Rhonda said, you ignore the undesirable things because that's making this goal of what you have or what you desire less achievable.
Yep.
And it puts up more roadblocks, and then it seems like you have to start again. So you're like, those things
They'll work themselves out.
figure it out.
And that be the very reason you getting divorced in 3 or 4 years. They never work them things out. They never work them out, guys.
They never work themselves out. But I get that, and I've seen it so many times. And unfortunately, a lot of times when I have seen that has been with a lot of my friends who are women. And I've had a situation with a friend a year ago where it's like, yo, this desire that you have, like you're going into this relationship saying, I've never had like an actual boyfriend before, so I know your level of desire. Like even you saying like, I've never had like an actual boyfriend before, you're putting boyfriend in a space of like the expectation of it is like this life-changing experience. So now your desire for it is so high, and you fantasize about it so much, that it's like any element,
anything that slightly resembles it. Yep.
Right there.
That's the boyfriend.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And then I called it out. I was like, he love bombing you. It's too quick. People don't do that. That's way too quick.
And got her.
Got her.
Damn. You live and you learn, ladies. You live and you learn.